Samuel David Dealey September 13, 1906 August 24, 1944 was the commanding officer of a United States Navy submarine killed in action with his crew during World War II. Among American service members, he is among the most decorated for valor during war, receiving the Medal of Honor, the Navy Cross, the Army Distinguished Service Cross, and the Silver Star for his service on the submarine USS Harder. He was the nephew of George B. Dealey, publisher of the Dallas News, and for whom Dealey Plaza is named. Sam Dealey was born on September 13, 1906, in Dallas, Texas. His mother moved the family temporarily to Santa Monica, California, following his father's death in 1912, returning in time for Sam Dealey to graduate high school in Dallas. He was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis, Maryland, from Texas and graduated in June 1930. Dealey was commissioned an ensign and reported for sea duty aboard the battleship USS Nevada, where he was promoted in June 1933 to lieutenant junior grade. In March 1934, he briefly transferred to the destroyer USS Rathburn, then reported that summer for submarine training at the Submarine School, New London, Connecticut. After graduating, he served on board the submarines USS S-34 and USS S-24. Remaining on sea duty, he reported on board USS Nautilus, then USS Base. In May 1937, he was assigned as an aide to the executive officer at Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida, NAS Pensacola. While there, in June 1938, he was promoted to lieutenant. In the summer of 1939, he was assigned as the executive officer, first officer on board the destroyer USS Reuben James. In April 1941, he reported to Experimental Division 1 for duty as the prospective commanding officer PCO of USS S-20 to support at-sea experiments off New London. He commanded S-20 for 2 years, serving aboard at the United States' entry into World War II. When war broke out, Dealey's practical qualifications led to assignment as commanding officer of the new construction Godot-class submarine USS Harder, which he commissioned on December 2, 1942, less than a year after the attack on Pearl Harbor. After a shakedown off the East Coast, Dealey survived a blue-on-blue attack by a Navy patrol bomber in the Caribbean Sea to bring Harder to the Pacific in the spring of 1943. By the time Harder got to the reported position, the aviator, Ensign John R. Galvin, was already stranded high and dry on the beach. Dealey lay alongside a reef. Dealey's third officer, Samuel Moore Logan, and 2 volunteers jumped in the water with a rubber raft, secured to Harder by a line. They fought their way through the surf and coral to the island and picked up Ensign Galvin. As they were attempting to get back to Harder, a Navy floatplane landed to help. It ran over the line and parted it. Another Harder volunteer jumped in the water and swam another line through the surf and coral to the beach. While Navy planes circled overhead, Japanese snipers fired away from the foliage while the Harder's men pulled the raft and the 5 men aboard. The rescue was later hailed as one of the boldest on record. In addition to his Medal of Honor, his other awards include the Navy Cross with 3 gold 516-inch stars, the Distinguished Service Cross Army Award, was presented by General Douglas MacArthur, the Silver Star, and the Purple Heart. While under his command the USS Harder SS-257 was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation for its performance in combat.